Well, this is your job. Which you signed up for. And... oh, come on. Action.
It's some of the most miserable filmmaking that I think I've ever done, and some of the most fun I've ever had making a film.
Looking back on the film, wasn't like the best thing we've done. I'm just glad it's done.
Oh my gosh, it was so quirky and corny. It was so bad it was good.
Manny and Sultan would not stop it with their sarcastic little one-liner quips, and I kind of lost my cool.
Action.
Made me wear that vest that was so tight and it showed my pudge everywhere.
Production of Thingling was pretty hot. How hot? A black hoodie and sweatpants in 95-degree weather. That's how hot it was.
We had how many sporks on set? What, like 20, 30? But they were all complaining. It was just nonstop complaining, and there was just things were just going wrong. And
ants. So many ants. Everywhere.
Fire ants. Because there were a lot of death scenes, so I fell in a lot of anthill mounds. So yeah.
It was really bad. That's my thoughts on The Thingling.
How was my time on the set of The Thingling? It's just a time in my life I'd rather not revisit right now.
If this is how it's gonna be, I don't ever want to make another film again.
Do you ever just think about a memory and think, wow, I remember that? Now imagine that, but it's put to film and you can see it forever. I present to you a project of mass annoyance, The Thingling. Back in September of 2014, we made our first short film sequel.
Hey, do you know what would be fun for our next short film? What would that be? Something original? Small cast? Clever writing?
The complete opposite. And it's a sequel to The Lord of the S'mores. Prior to making The Thingling, we've already worked on 3 short films. The first being another zombie movie, which the title suggests is a comedy, but turned into a melodramatic cringe fest.
No, shut up.
okay, being ridiculous because you guys are so stupid right.
Our second, The Lord of the S'mores, a parody of The Lord of the Rings, but nowhere near remotely funny and boring.
Yes! Yes!
And our third being Rise of the Dead, a wacky zombie comedy that lacked all of that. I don't even want to talk about that movie right now. So after making 2 zombie films, I guess it was only appropriate to make a second parody movie. If you haven't guessed already, The Thingling is a sequel to The Lord of the S'mores. So in this video documentary type thing, I'm gonna go through the entire production of The Thingling. Let's get started.
You will definitely have no trouble pooing once you see it. But some can't even what the heck?
May 2014. Writing a compelling story came so naturally in my brain. I mean, get this, you ready? So there's this scene, okay? Then they start fighting, and there's this like cool shot. Go ahead and write that down. I didn't write anything. I didn't write the story. I just wanted to write cool scenes.
This is such a good scene for Ham. I can imagine with Ham right here. Randall.
Sabri would just write the dialogue and story around my ideas. I mean, have you seen the final product? It's incredible. We're not even close to filming yet. All through the summer, I was just doing some test filming. I was testing visual effects, and I also wanted this big freaking monster inside the movie because reasons. So I was doing some digging, found some software called Effectio that gave me 5 animations of this monster. June and August, the script was now coming into completion, and for the next couple months, we were location scouting. Let me give you some insight. The Lord of the S'mores looked like a dog got its left testicle stepped on.
Yes!
You could see telephone poles, cars, modern items. We didn't give a crap. The Thingling, dang it, I wanted it to look like a real fantasy world. We got a map made for the land called the Land of the Lords. I gotta say, I'm still pretty proud of the locations we found. Old ruins, medieval looking houses, sneakers. To say the least, the best part about the film is the locations, even though 70% of it takes place in the woods. On August 31st, we had our first read-through with the whole cast.
Randall, take a deep breath back to dramatic mood.
Let me go ahead and read off some names, shall we? We have Manny Kerr returning as Ham, or the Thingling. We have Corey Peterson as Randolph, this time getting a crazy wardrobe change. His hat, it changes. Budget went up! EJ is arrogant, and honestly, I feel like he has more screen time than Ham, so why is it called The Thingling? You have Aslan playing BGB, standing for Boring Guy's Brother. First movie, Aslan played a character called Boring Guy, and then was killed by Arrogant. Pipin, played by Sultan, who's honestly becoming a successful actor, and probably wants this film removed from his life. Happy, played by Xavier. So in the last movie, everyone said, Happy's my favorite character, he's hilarious. And so you know what we did? We times it by 100 and made him Jar Jar Binks, and he's really annoying.
Hey, Randall. See
We have the Keebler Elf Queen played by Sabri. The whole gag of her character is that she doesn't talk, all of her lines are ADR. So there's a joke, and let me go ahead and play you that joke.
We've been running for like a year straight.
Oh, please, wimpy little ogre.
Huh?
I'm sorry, did I think that aloud?
Yeah, we played that for people, and no one laughed. It was pretty hilarious. Not the clip, seeing that no one thought it was funny. Ethan as Gummy Bear, who honestly is a throwaway character, and that's not me just being mean, it's because like half the people in this movie are throwaway characters, so. And finally you have Brian Pardue as Raggiest, a new character that the cast, September 2014, production. So now we're in the filming stage of The Thingling, and this is where it's gonna get pretty fun. Hectic, we're gonna play some clips. So here's a graphic of all the scenes that need to be filmed before October 12th. So before we embark on this glorious journey that is the filming of The Thingling, why are we making this? We're making this whole frickin' movie to promote our student ministry bonfire. So yeah, we're just playing this at church because we can. Our very first day of filming was September 6th, and we drove up to a place about an hour away called Poinsett Park. The first scene we filmed was the ending to the first episode. We also filmed an extended scene.
Well, I'm gonna go to sleep.
All right. Good night, dear Thingling.
Yeah, whatever.
Later on that day, we filmed a travel montage because I had a freaking fetish with travel montages back then for some reason.
3, 2, 1, action.
All right.
Action. That was action. Action.
But there was this one shot that was actually really cool. Saw these cool woods. We jumped out of the vehicles and I was like, everyone just run. And then we filmed them out the window of the car and it looked pretty cool. And that's all I have to say about this movie, is that there's some things that just look pretty cool. It was definitely not the worst day of filming, I'll tell you. So we got 1, 2, 3 scenes done that day. Pretty productive, I would say. Now, fast forward to Friday the 12th. Fight choreography. The next scene we were filming was a fight scene for episode 2. The night was actually pretty fun. The whole cast would make up like these fight choreography scenes, and then we'd all come together and watch them. It was probably one of the funnest days. So the following day, September 13th, it was time for filming the fight scenes.
And then they were all, you know, little kids draped in black, and of course black is the worst color to wear in the heat.
Okay, ready? Josh, we're doing it. Oh, okay. Well, just
it was really like hot and miserable some days, but I just remember laughing and smiling through it. Once again, just it was a big learning curve for a lot of people.
Okay. Good stuff.
So the enemies in the Lord of the S'mores were called sporks. But you know what I didn't like about the sporks in the first film? You could see their faces. So for the Thingling, I was like, they should wear masks to make them like faceless villains so we can reuse them. So wait, you're telling me I had to wear a sweatshirt and pants in 90-degree weather and you won't even see my face? That was probably the thought of every single extra there, and not to mention their families when they go to the premiere night and realize, is that my kid? Well, I can't tell because their face is covered. All in all, that idea was a lose-lose situation all around. It just feels like they're fighting some weird cult. We did get a lot done that day though. It was just the fighting, oh my lord, that was terrible.
No, Darren, you don't throw it.
Let's go ahead and look at our graphic. Saturday, September 20th. So this day we finally film the opening of the movie, and I was so excited to do this.
You were such a good
Yeah! Come on! Our location, we called it Thingling Town. It's a ripoff of Hobbiton and way less appealing. And honestly, I still love this opening shot. It just, look at it. Oh, wait a second, that's me remastering and coloring it better. This is what it originally looked like. And, oh gosh, that looks okay. So after we filmed that scene with Randolph and Ham meeting up, we packed our things and went down the hill to a lake. And this scene, I would like to call it the exposition scene because this scene lasts 4 minutes and is literally just explaining the whole plot.
Stop doing this.
Quiet on the set.
Including.
And then you have Happy, who the joke was in this film is that he just forgets everything.
Well, I guess he's not here.
Who's not here?
It's so funny. He's supposed to be a likable character, but he just forgets everything. It's like something has done that better, like freaking Finding Nemo. The scene lasts for like 4 or 5 minutes, but I can explain it in 10 seconds. Bad guys alive. They need to get a golden stick and a golden mallow, and they need to weld them together at a furnace, because that's the only way to defeat Sourmouth. Sourmouth's the name of the villain.
Now shut your ham hole, I'm talking.
So after we all filmed that scene, we told the crew, hey, it's time to film an extended scene. Woo!
Josh, don't touch the jib again.
No! I don't know my lines. I'm sorry.
I'll talk about the extended scenes later, but pretty much we just filmed them to intentionally cut them out of the movie and then put them back in. What? Like, couldn't have used that time to like make the movie look better? So we had one more scene to film that Saturday.
Master Mike for a moment. I'm so used to him punching me straight in the chest.
And I made everyone walk for 3 minutes down a path with all the equipment so I can get the best location ever. All right, you ready to see the location? Wait, that's the location? It's just woods? So why the heck did I have everyone walk for 3 minutes down a path when we could have just filmed that at the church property? And then Clog, this really throwaway villain who's, I don't even know why he's in the film, with his sword thingy, like stabs through this thing, and it's like, I wanted this effect so bad. It was like in my head, I was like, this is gonna look so cool. And then you realize something again. That's the only reason that scene is in the movie. This whole fight scene with Ham and Clog is just because I wanted that cool shot of the claws going through that thing. The next day, Sunday the 21st, we packed the bus full of students and headed down to a historical site. It was like a historical park where they had like all these old buildings, and it was really cool actually.
Okay. Ouch, thanks.
How can we ever repay you?
The locations just perfectly communicate the world that I want to build. Sneakers. Stop showing the frickin' sneakers. Okay, go ahead and show them again.
Happy! I drew a blank and then I said, ah, sh.
Dear old.
And of course, everybody just burst out laughing, and that was a really, really fun memory.
Also, when we were there on that location, we filmed the opening to episode 3, which later that footage was deleted by accident. My dad and I had to get a recovery program for $100 to try and recover all the files, and guess what? I didn't get any of the files back. But it wasn't a complete loss because it did recover some behind-the-scenes footage of Rise of the Dead that I lost before. I honestly just deleted those again. I didn't really want them, but it was fun to see them again. I actually have them on my computer. So that day we got 2 scenes done and 1 scene deleted. So we're going to have to pick up and get that scene later somehow. Friday, September 26th, we had another choreography night. Day is a blur to me, it's not really documented. The next day, September 27th, it was time to film the fight scene for episode 1. If it was now, I'd honestly have a blast filming it, but I mean, I was back then, I was 16, and I was like, my life, people who are suffering.
Yeah.
Then I was getting annoyed because the fighting wasn't good enough for me. and then I dropped the camera. That was cool. That was actually hilarious. I wish it broke. I felt for the most part though, everyone was kind of having fun, like doing their choreography stuff that they did the night before.
It was very fun.
It was awesome. It was fun being on set.
So they all know what they're doing. But Taylor doesn't like what they're doing. So on the spot, I told everyone, yo, I want a one-shot fight scene. So what I had everyone choreograph fights in like 5 minutes, really fast. See the footage, we're like running through everyone, getting this one-shot fight scene, and you can see I'm not seeing like 50% of the fighting anyone's doing. I'm just like running past them.
Keep fighting, keep fighting. That's good, yeah, that's good.
They started getting frustrated with me, like, dude, we choreograph all this stuff, this new stuff, and you're not even filming it, so why did we do it all? And I was like, who's gonna take? And then for take 2, I dropped the camera. I had like a mental breakdown for some reason because I dropped the camera. I was like, I don't deserve this. So then finally, after a couple more takes, we got the shot. Because now every time I see that one-shot fight sequence, it's not even impressive, first of all. And then it just reminds me of I made everyone do all this just because I wanted to get a cool shot. After that mess, we filmed some fun explosions with Corey.
Hey, Steven, you ready to blow up Darren?
Yeah. Darren wants me to go like to hit him where he's going to fly that way rather than...
So after lunch, we filmed more scenes, one of which being a recreation of a shot from Lord of the S'mores. This scene did not even need to be in the movie. We just wanted to recreate a shot from Lord of the S'mores. That was it. Come on, get some like common freaking like
And Mike.
I thought no Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
What do you need Mike for? He knows no lines.
And action.
Merlin wasn't real.
Yep, Merlin. He was a real person, but he wasn't.
Looking for a stick for Happy to step on. Perfect.
Happy's stick? That means we filmed the scene with Happy! And lastly, that day we filmed an extended scene, which was that scene, remember I was showing you in the beginning of the video? We set up the whole jib, and microphone, and we did all that work for a joke, I guess.
It's only been 19 hours.
So we filmed a lot that day, and it was honestly too much. So here's the graphic of what we'd filmed. October 2014. Remember, the first episode needs to be done by October 12th, so crunch time, baby. Episode 1's pretty much almost done, but episode 3 is nowhere near done. October 4th, we filmed the BGB and Ham scene. It's Aslan and Manny just talking and being funny.
B-roll when you and Manny are talking, because there's gonna be some funny things on that.
Take 15. All right. What is this? Take 15 now?
Oh my god.
It's not that funny when you watch it now, but on set it was really funny because we couldn't stop laughing. That's the best part about this whole day.
No way you hit me.
Every time I watch this dumb movie, I always forget that Sourmouth's even the main villain. The main villain is a puppet. It's like I'm taking this movie so seriously when it's the most ridiculous thing ever, so I'm not just going full out ridiculous. I was trying to keep it grounded in a sense.
Big heavy vibe of just super importance just hung over the atmosphere of the movie. We're fighting against a giant friggin' puppet.
Also, the cops showed up that day. It was pretty hilarious. Someone saw the sporks messing around, and so they called the cop.
EJ, he let you go.
The ones that were up there on the stage doing the...
Also, we had Eddie on set, and I always felt bad for this. He like tripped over the jib, and I always felt bad anyway. That's all I had to say. Bye. Then that same day, we filmed another fight scene. This being with Ham, Arrogant, and BGB.
My wing!
This fight honestly should have been the climax. Because Ham, our main character, was fighting the antagonist. BGB's not really a bad guy because he just wants revenge for Arrogant killing his brother, and Arrogant like just killed his brother for no reason, kind of. So I'm actually on BGB's side. I wish BGB won. That'd be a hilarious twist. Imagine if BGB just killed all of them. Like, that'd be the best movie ever.
With a sword, and then you're like, sorry, little thing, or just say something just to make it up so people like you more. I got it.
Imagine being like 60 watching Thingling and you're like, actually, why am I have no teeth on a 60? Let's go ahead and check off some scenes. Wow, we got a lot of work done. October 5th, we filmed Raggiest and Randolph fighting the big beast. Everyone was having a really good time this day.
Okay, cut.
Back.
Action. Cut. Stop.
Stop. That's his last turn.
This was definitely one of the best days of filming because there wasn't a ton of people on set. This would be in complete contrast of the next filming day. Friday night, October 10th. Another choreography night. But this was it. We were filming the final battle the next day. So this choreography had to be the killer one.
I kind of want them to be even above what y'all been doing. Your Allspice have been just really, really good, but really take some time tonight to work out some good stuff.
It couldn't just be subpar, it had to be epic.
I need you tonight to really help choreograph it. You know, you had one with
those two are dead.
It had to be the most epic fight ever. So for some reason, we were doing it a day prior.
Is that good?
After that long night, we got a good night's sleep, and we're ready for the big battle. October the 11th. So remember that place we got permission to film Thingling Town in? So just walk out of Thingling Town for like 2 feet, and there's this big field, and so I was like, we're gonna film the battle right there. Filming in this area was so stupid. First, it looks just like the church, so we didn't need to film this elaborate battle sequence in a place we're not familiar with. Second, the church has bathrooms, so we could just be filming all day and then be like, hey, okay, I have to go to the bathroom. Yeah, go ahead and get a drink. Filming the final battle was nowhere near what I thought. Everyone probably thought it was gonna be way funner than this.
Rolling. And what are you doing? Colby, what are you doing? Hurry, Colby. Action.
There's some things that we're gonna be doing today, especially with you guys, that it could either go like super fast, or it could take a very long time.
And Sultan kind of leaned over and whispered, He was like, man, I don't know what to do. I don't know my thing for this scene. And he totally got called out by EJ. And a complete misunderstanding. Like, nobody's a bad person in this scenario.
Maybe we should reverse it. No, that would just overcomplicate.
But I just wanted to take a real spork and I just wanted to stab each one of them every time they complain.
Line up.
The part where me and Ham, so he's supposed to get down on one knee and I jump off his knee and whack a spork. 3 people giving me 3 different directions on how to do this. I'm confused, Manny is confused, we're all confusing each other, giving each other a gigantic headache. It didn't even end up in the film.
Yeah, but she's going so fast that I can't.
I was being a jerk, you know, being sarcastic. I got laid into a little bit by Ali and EJ.
EJ even called a timeout and said, hey, people, we gotta chill out.
I can't really see anything.
Jacket? Alright, I'll get the jacket for later.
Oh my gosh, Taylor. You have all these people who are working really hard, and I'm not even appreciating anything. I'm oblivious to everything that's going on. I'm like, all right, and cut, all right, yeah, get that thing done, get it. After filming with us for 6 weeks, they're probably like, why did I commit to this? Why did I commit to this? We could have used the bad choreography to our advantage to make it really funny. You know what I mean? And then we were filming Arrogance and BGB's fight scene. After filming that battle, you could tell everyone was hating this day. But now came Arrogance death scene. Also, Xavier, who played Happy, had to leave early that day. It's not really everyone. Happy is not there, unfortunately. I'm actually glad he's not there. Probably been like, who's this? Oh. Like, imagine like Arrogant dies and Happy's like. So wait, who was that? The day took like a complete 180 because it was a lot more fun the rest of the time.
Okay, cut. Oh my gosh. So good. That was awesome. Guys. One more take.
I'm a goofy goober, yeah!
It was a pretty productive day of filming. And finally, Sunday, October 12th comes. It's the premiere day of episode 1. We finally played the first episode of The Thingling. For me personally, I felt good about it because I was an ignorant idiot. But it was getting laughs at like the appropriate moments and stuff. But I remember the first thing Sabri told me, she plays the Keeper Love Queen. She was like, I thought it was good, but like the sound was piercing my ears. I did months of work on this stupid film and I'm like, sounds bad? Wait, how was the sound bad? It sounded good to me. I was almost crying actually. And apparently a lot of people were complaining about the sound. It was destroying their ears. Do you want me to play you the original sound for the movie? I'm warning you. I had to play a clip from the original Thingling movie, and this is what it sounded like.
We will come together again on October 26th at 5 p.m.
Now imagine that crazy loud volume with gigantic speakers in a room full of people. So all in all, the first showing of The Thingling was kind of a failure, but it got us prepped for episode 2. Okay, here we go. It's October 18th, the last day of filming.
Hey, what's up? Doing your job finally?
Yeah. I'm not getting nothing funny, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting something really funny.
What?
Manny.
This was actually a pretty fun day. It was laid back.
Brian, I heard you tugging at it. Yeah.
Oh no, oh no.
We were able to film the historic buildings again, and they even let us go into a blacksmith shop. It was super cool that they would actually open the door for us.
Yeah! Cookies again. It sounds awesome, though.
All right, guys. I'll take the spit.
And guess what? It was a wrap. That was the last scene to film. Well, not really. You remember that shot? It's the ending shot of the whole movie. Going away off into the distance, having fun. But then I was like, that shot's terrible. So we packed everything, went to the church really fast, and filmed the final shot of the movie.
Last shot of The Thingling.
It looks great. I don't know. It looks good. Dang it.
That's a wrap. What a thing.
Woo! Finally.
We were done with the movie. Well, you know what? I just want this extended scene, though. That's the only thing. A scene that was not even in the script. Honestly, the only reason I wanted to film this scene was because I could turn day into night in Motion 5. And it looks like trash, but that's the only reason, because I was like, here's the cool effect. And finally, that completes all of our filming.
We're officially done with the Thingling filming.
Well, that's weird, because...
Let's go to the graphic. Yep, we have filled in all the blank spots.
Looking back on the film, it wasn't like the best thing we've done, but it was a fun experience.
It was awesome. I love the experience. It was fun.
Just know how to have fun when you're filming, I think was the big takeaway for me.
So our journey is not over yet. Remember how I was saying we're filming all these dumb extended scenes? Well, guess what? We had a big premiere night, October 31st. The 3 episodes came up to 41 minutes long, so what I did was combine all 3 episodes into one movie, as well as added the extended scenes we filmed. Came up to 51 minutes long. All in all, the premiere night, I guess, was pretty fun. We had a big screen set up. We played The Lord of S'mores first, then we played The Thingling Extended Edition. 2 years later, I made a Thingling Director's Cut. What? What's the difference? Some new scenes. Here's the catch, it's 20 seconds longer. Whoa! Then this year, 2019, I made the Thingling alternate version. I completely changed the whole feel of the movie, and this is the version I wish would have been out. All the previous versions of the movie are so dark, colorless, super slow and boring. This is what the Thingling originally looked like.
Everyone get that?
Wait, I don't get it.
Oh, for the love of Thingling food!
Are you kidding me, Happy? Like,
And this is what the alternate version looks like.
Wait, I don't get it.
Oh, for the love of Thingling food!
Are you kidding me, Happy? Like, seriously,
Be at peace, everyone.
And I'm not saying that it's good, because it's still terrible in my opinion. The reason I made that was because I wanted something to where at least it just feels more fun, it's lighthearted, it's not slow. The Thingling, I think, is one of the most forgettable films of all time to everyone involved making this movie. And every day probably thinking, well, this is gonna suck, but still stuck in there. Is something wrong with you? Like, your memories would have been swarming with Saturday morning cartoons or something fonder than waking up and dying of sweat and heat stroke. I wanted to make a good movie in 2014, and it sucked. Just be glad that most of your memories are deleted after 24 hours.
Keep it up, Queen.